The Boy Scouts of America have been the subject of controversy lately as they discuss the possibility of lifting the ban on gays in their youth programs. Scouts Canada has been an inclusive organization for many years now. They do not discriminate for reasons of gender, culture, religious belief, or sexual orientation. This hasn't always been the case, however. Maurice Chevalier describes the process Scouts Canada went through in the 90s when they decided to include women in their group.
Back in the early 90s, when we were looking at co-educational programs, my troop was one of the test troops. And they're going through what we went through 25 years ago. Ours wasn't nearly quite so public and wasn't quite so messy as what the Boy Scouts of America is.
Chevalier believes that the kids in the programs didn't have any real problems with the change.
It's the adults who get involved in stuff like that. From the kids' viewpoint, we had new scouts. They used to be guides. In fact, it smartened a lot of the guys up and made them work harder because the girls were putting them to shame.
Kristen Mackey, however, disagrees. Although she's certainly enjoyed being involved with the Scouts for most of her life, she admits that being a woman hasn't always made things very easy.
I had a leader come up to me and say to my 8-year-old face that he didn't think it was a good idea and he didn't think that I had what it took. And I remember in my 8-year-old mind thinking if this was because I was a girl, because I knew through all the hubbub around the girls and Scouts thing, I knew that he was pretty against it.
Mackey explains that she made the transition to Scouts in the first place because she liked the activities they did, more than she liked what the Girl Guides were doing.
I really wanted to play games, and I wanted to go hiking, and I wanted to go camping, and my Girl Guide group didn't really do that, and so for me that was the appeal. That's why I wanted to go to Scouts, because I wanted to do that stuff. I didn't want to do crafts and makeup and fashion shows and things like that. I think one of the big issues when Scouts Canada was allowing girls, I think one of the biggest fears that people had was that girls would come in and change the program. We would make it like Boy Scouts with girls, and it would be different, and we'd be doing girl things. And I really think that some of the fear in the States is that gay people are going to come in and they're going to change Scouts. And in my experience, we didn't change Scouts, we just kind of came in and did what you were doing.
Professor Fiona Nelson explains that the foundations of Scouting have a big impact on the policies that both Scouts Canada and the Boy Scouts of America have on gender and sexual identity today.
Scouting started at the beginning of the 20th century and really was started as a response to concerns that people had, that men had about manhood, that they felt that boys were spending too much time with women and girls. And so that was always a very heteronormative model of what is a real masculine boyhood. And I think in Canada, yes, I think that we've moved beyond that, and Scouting has become something different. Scouting has become this fun thing, perhaps this character building thing, but that boys and girls can do.
So what is responsible for the difference in the way Scouting evolved in Canada to how it evolved in the U.S.?
There are conservative right-wing forces in the U.S. that are better mobilized and better funded. And I think also a different sense, a different national sense of who we are. I think we do like to see ourselves as reasonable, civilized, progressive.
The Boy Scouts of America have postponed the vote on whether to expand the range of youth allowed to participate in their programs. Scouts Canada, however, will remain an inclusive and diverse organization. For NUTV, I'm Haley MacLeod.